Welcome to this Friday session. It's the end of the week where we look forward to a slightly quieter, more mindful practice. Sit comfortably on both sides of your support, both sitting bones, evenly weighted. Lift the sides of the trunk. Lift the navel away from the floor, lift the sternum away from the navel. Create a length in the front body and the back body. Lift the cervical spine, feel the length of the spine and the length of the trunk. Take the arms out to the side. Turn the palms to face forward. And take the arms slightly behind you. And bend the elbows slightly. Draw the elbows towards the side of the trunk. Slightly behind the trunk. Open the chest. And now join the palms. Join the palms and the fingers. Connect the right side and the left side. And focus on your breath. Feel the gentle inhalation and exhalation. We'll begin by chanting Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Your hands, open your eyes, take your fingertips behind your head, support the trunk. Now release the muscular tension and release the skeletal tension. Become soft yet aware of your posture. Feel the energy of the body, especially in your trunk, lifting you. Now find the softness in it. We've understood that we have to move the shoulder blades into the body. Do that if you haven't already. Lift the navel away from the floor. Lift the sternum away from the navel. Now can you bring softness to the posture? When we engage in pranayama and meditation, you maintain your form, but at the same time, there's a degree of quietness in the bones, the muscles, and the nervous system. Maintaining the softness of the trunk. Straighten your right leg. Straighten your leg. Heels away from you, toes towards you, engage the legs, shake them out. And now, can you extend your heels away from you, toes towards you? Engage your thighs to press down your legs. And feel the length from the hip to your heel. And now release into that length. Those straight lines from the buttock to the heel. Extend them and release those lines to the floor. So you're still maintaining your posture, but at the same time, you've become soft. The alignment is there, the extension is there, and now focus on your breath. Feel the bones release, maintaining the extension of the legs. Here, interlace your fingers in front of you. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you, and keep the arms extended. Extend the wrist away from you. Maintain the length of the arms. So there's a straight line running from your buttock to the heel, from the hip to the armpit, and from the armpit to the wrist. Maintain the extension of the lines, but soften into the pose. Focus on your breath. Breathing in, raise up the arms, upper arms in line with the ear. Stretch the armpit, stretch the elbow, lift the wrist. Feel the sides of the trunk lifting, gaze forward. A straight line from the hip to the wrist and from the hip to the heel. Extend those lines. Maintain the length of the lines. Now release the muscular tension and release the skeletal tension. We're now allowing the pose to settle, the muscles to settle, the bones to settle, and the nerves to settle. Breathing out, release your hands onto the floor and fold your hands. Place your hands on the knees. Draw the elbows in to open the chest and look up. As you breathe out, draw the chin to the chest and lengthen the cervical spine. The upper back muscles rolling down the back, the softness of the abdomen. Draw the navel back slightly and release it to the pose. Raise up your head, release your hands to the side, and straighten out your legs for Upavin Stepanas. Your feet are facing up, your knees are facing up, and your thighs are facing. Move your heels away from you and your toes towards you. Now feel the line running from your buttock to the heel in both legs. Extend the line, extend your heels, and now release those lines to the floor. Become soft in the pose, hold no tension. From here, fold the left leg in for Janusas. Extend the bent knee away from you. Extend the straight leg away from you and feel the openness in the pelvic area. Breathing in, raise up the arms. A straight line from the hip to the fingertips, especially the middle finger. A straight line from the hip to your heel of the right leg. From the hip to the knee of the left leg. And from the knee to the heel of the left. Extend all those lines and now release the tension, maintaining the length of those lines. Breathe out, release your hands. Extend your left leg and fold in the right. From the buttock to the heel of the left leg, there's an extension. Lengthen that line, lengthen the heel away from you. From the buttock to the knee of the right leg, there's an extension. And from the knee to the heel, feel those lines, extend those lines. Breathing in, raise up your arms, upper arms in line with the ear, and feel the extension of the trunk. Lengthen those lines, maintain the extension of those lines, and now soften it. On your breath, and the muscles will adjust. The nerves will adjust. In every asana, the adjustment is there. But we need to allow for it to happen. Breathe out, release your hands. Fold the legs in, fold the buttocks. Join the soles of the feet and lift the trunk. Interlace your fingers once more, changing the interlock of your fingers. Rotate at the wrist, turn the palms away from you. Breathe in and raise up your arms. So when we learn an asana, there's effort. But when you want to practice and stay in the asana, it's effortless effort. Get into the posture and release without any tension or strain. Focus on the lines from the hip to the wrist and from the hip to your knees. Extend those lines and breathing out, release your hands. Straighten the legs into Dandasana once again. Place the feet behind you and lower. Place your gaze forward. Fold the legs in and come to face the side of your mat. Sitting Vajrasana. Take your heels together, big toes together. Rest your buttock on the heel. Place a support between the heel and the buttock if your heels are not touching the buttock. Feel the openness, the pelvic area, and place your fingertips in front of the knees. Move the shoulder blades forward and back. Your hands forward. Move the groins back, move the buttock onto the heel and release the navel lower. Walk your hands further forward. Stretch the arms and lengthen now from your groin to the armpit and from the armpit to the wrist. Move the buttock back onto the heel. Release your forehead to the floor. And extend the lines both on the right side and the left side of the trunk and your arms. And release your elbows. Focus more on the exhalation. Come onto your knees. Place your palms below the shoulders, your knees below your hips, middle finger facing forward. Tuck the toes under and lift into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And feel the lines now running from your heels up to your hip and from the wrist up to the hip. Can you extend those lines to lift the hip higher? Keep your heels off the floor for now. Release the head. The head and neck is quiet. And lift the hip to lengthen those lines. And now soften in the pose. Release the tension. The weight of your body is evenly on your palms and your feet. Move the front thigh to the back thigh to fix the legs and soften it. So to your knees. If you have a pillow or two foam supports, place them across your mat. A bolster will do. So along the hip. Place your palms in front. Once again, lift into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And step the right leg forward, resting on your support. Extend the left leg away. So your hip is on the support. Your tops of your feet on your support, and using the softness of your support, release the hips. Release the hips, lift the navel away from the floor and keep the left leg extended. Release onto your elbows and release the head. If you need to take an extra pillow or support for the head, do so, it's perfectly fine. And now release into the pose, find the softness in the pose. You don't have to straighten your arms. You can rest on the forearms since this is a restful pose, a restorative. On the exhalation, there is a release in the area of the hips. At the same time, there's softness. Hands back. Walk your hands back, look up. For those of you that are comfortable here, stay here. Alternatively, lift the back leg and move the heel of the right leg over to the left hand side. So your shin is across the width of your mat. Gaze forward. Your hip is on the support or your buttock or your thigh. That's perfectly fine. And release onto your elbows again and release your forehead onto the support. It's not necessary to straighten out the arms, but rather find the release in Kapotanasana as a restorative pose. Restorative poses helps to bring a sense of balance and rest to the body and the mind. Focus more on the exhalation. Exhalation will happen. To hold the pose, you can come out of the pose, place your palms on the floor. But as you practice, you'll find that it will become more comfortable. And release into other Mukha Svanasana. Once again, keep your heels off the floor and just extend. Lift the hips, straighten those lines. Slide the left leg forward and place the hip on your support and release your elbows to the floor and the forehead. Now that you've understood the pose, you can choose to keep your leg there or lift the trunk and move your heel of the left leg over to the right hand side so that the shin is across the mat. Release your elbows to the floor, the forearm to the floor. Spread the fingers, spread the palms, and release the head. Weak, you need some quietness. Back. You'd find that we hold restorative poses for longer. We have to settle the mind, settle the breath, and more especially the nerves. Tuck the toes under and stretch into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, keep your heels off the floor. It's a gentle release. And release the knees onto the mat. Sit back on your heels. Place your fingertips in front of the knees and forward. Take your head support, place it in front of you. Release the forearms and release the forehead. Release the forehead onto your support. And feel the frontal lobe of the brain becoming quiet. Release the hips to the release the navel to the floor and the sternum as well. Now focus on more the exhalation. Feel the body becoming quieter, the mind becoming quieter, and the brain becoming quieter. More on the exhalation. Soften into the pose. Walk your hands back. Walk your hands back. Your movement should be slow. And come to lie flat on your back with your knees up and your feet flat on the floor. This allows for the spine to settle. Maintain the extension of the spine. Hands, draw both your knees in towards the chest. Straighten the right leg. Straighten the left leg. Feel the hips release to the floor. Feel the thighs release to the floor. The navel and the abdominal organs completely releasing to the floor. Release to the floor and the shoulder blades as well. Release the top jaw. Release the bottom jaw. The eyeballs receding all the way to the back of the sockets. And feel the brain becoming smaller. And there is now space between the brain and the skull. A quiet, tranquil, calming space. Focus on just the exhalation. Feel your right shoulder release to the floor. Your right upper arm. Your right elbow. Each time you breathe out, feel that part of your body releasing to the floor. Your right forearm, the right wrist, the palm of the right hand, and the fingers of the right hand. Completely release. Left shoulder, the left upper arm, the left elbow, the left forearm, the left wrist, the palm of the left hand, and the fingers of the left hand. Feel both your arms completely release to the floor and feel the side of the trunk melt onto the floor. Press your hips, the right buttock to the floor, the right thigh, the right knee, the right shin, the heel of the right foot, and the toes of the right foot. The left buttock, the left thigh, the left knee, left shin, the heel of the left foot, the toes of the left foot. Place your legs completely to the floor. Feel your thighs roll out and melt to the floor. Entire body melting to the floor. And focus on just the exhalation. Head, Abdominal organs releasing all the way to the floor and becoming soft. There is no tension in the body, tension in the mind, and the brain is finished. To your armpits, feel the quietness and the release of the trunk, together with the length of the spine. Place both your hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping the feet flat on the floor. Raise up your right arm all the way past the right hip. Roll over onto your right side and come to rest on the left arm. Become soft and become quiet. Press with the left hand to come to sit. Sit on your support. Feel your hips released onto the floor. There is a quietness in the hip. Lift the sides of the jump with the same quietness that you had in Shavasana and close your eyes. Feel your pose, the outline of your pose, and now soften into it. Melt into your pose, maintaining your structure. And with this sense of calmness, look forward to the day and the weekend. Take a slow, deep breath in, and as you breathe out, release your chin to the chest. As you breathe in, slowly raise up your head, release your hands, and open. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful day. See some of you on Sunday or Monday.